Hi guys, firstly I invite you to observe this object. It seems a moon landing module, but it isn't obviously. I made it with my own hands. And you can do the same thing at your home. To do this, you need a test tube, 2 or 3 metal nails, a roll of scotch tape which you will use to fix around the edge of the test tube the nails in this way. I told you 2 or 3 nails because it depends about the weight of the metal nails. The entire device, in fact, mustn't be too much heavy to avoid the singing. Now we will prove. And it mustn't be too much light to avoid the excessive immersion of the upper side. The entire weight of this device must be slightly less heavy than the weight of the displaced liquid. I invite you to notice that the test tube hasn't been corked. In this way, if I put inside this jug filled with water, you will see that the device floats, but its weight is slightly less heavy than the displaced liquid. In this way, the immersion of the device rises nearly until the extreme upper level of the test tube. But I told you that the test tube hasn't any cork inside. In this way, the inner air of the device has a function like an elastic air chamber, because if I push inside the water this device, in this moment the contact with the water pressure presses the inner pressure of the device, but if I let the device floats, because the inner air pushes out the water which I pushed inside when I was pushing down this device. And you can notice this function. Now I'm showing you the second step, and it is the most important step of our experiment. I'm putting inside this bottle filled with water, and I am putting in this water its screw cap, and I carefully closing the bottle. In this way, the inner pressure can be increased by the grasp of my hands. And when I will push my hand and grasp the bottle, the inner pressure will push another quantity of water inside the test tube, and now you can notice what happens. I grasped the bottle and the device sank. Now I am easing the pressure. The device is floating. It's possible to balance the pressure because if I stop the pressure when the device is in the middle of the water, it is possible to maintain the device in this position. In this way, the inner air of the test tube is functioning like a inner container of the submarine. In fact, the submarine has this inner container, also called floating compartment, in which it's possible to pump air like this, and when air is pumped, the submarine go down, and after, if the submarine needs to float to go out, the water is pumped out like this movement I'm making by easing the pressure. Pressing, easing, pressing, easing. In this way it's possible to get the navigation of the submarine under the level of the water, the sea water, and when the water is pumped inside the floating compartment of the submarine can navigate near the bottom of the sea, near the ground of the sea. If the submarine needs to float to go out of the water, the inner water is pumped out, and the inner air of the floatable compartment makes the submarine floating. Bye bye.